The Untold Secrets of Alexander the Great's Empire. History remembers Alexander the Great as a conqueror, a visionary, a legend. By the time he was 30, he had carved an empire that stretched from Greece to the edges of India, a feat unmatched in both ambition and scale. But beneath the gleaming surface of his victories lies a trove of secrets, hidden strategies, controversial decisions, and haunting challenges that defined not only his empire, but his life. What were the threads binding Alexander's vast dominion? How did he manage to unify cultures as disparate as Macedonians and Persians, Greeks and Egyptians? And perhaps most intriguingly, what of the mysteries that surround his sudden death and the swift collapse of his empire? Today, we venture beyond the triumphs of the battlefield to uncover the untold secrets of Alexander the Great's empire. Prepare to rewrite everything you thought you knew about history's greatest conqueror. Alexander's journey began with an extraordinary foundation, the dual legacy of might and intellect. The son of King Philip II of Macedon, Alexander was raised not just as a warrior, but as a student. Philosophy flowed in his veins, thanks to none other than Aristotle, his personal tutor. From a young age, Alexander was not merely taught to rule, he was trained to dream beyond the limits of his small kingdom. In the shadow of his father's ambitious unification of Greece, Alexander learned discipline, strategy, and the power of vision. By the time he ascended the throne at 20, following Philip's assassination, the world stood as a canvas waiting for the strokes of his relentless ambition. The first brushstroke, the audacious invasion of Persia. What some viewed as suicidal bravado, Alexander saw as destiny. But this was no rash attempt. It was a calculated campaign, solidified by years of rigorous planning, training, and propaganda. The secrets of his early successes lay in precision and preparedness. With unmatched brilliance as a strategist, Alexander reshaped how wars were fought. His army wasn't just large, it was adaptable. The Macedonian phalanx, an impenetrable wall of spears, became a symbol of his invincibility, devastating enemies with surgical precision. Yet raw tactics were only part of the story. Alexander also carried with him a powerful narrative. He wasn't invading Persia, he was liberating it. He proclaimed himself an avenger, a ruler intent on punishing the Persian king Darius for past transgressions against Greece. To the citizens of Persia, this message sowed seeds of doubt about their own leadership and made Alexander's rise all the more seamless. But conquest is never just a physical act, it's psychological. Alexander understood this better than anyone. His strategy extended beyond swords and shields. To maintain control over such a sprawling and diverse domain, he needed to unify and rule from the mind. Alexander's genius lay in his ability to navigate the delicate web of alliances and cultural integration. Marriage was one of his most profound tools. By wedding Persian Princess Roxana and encouraging his generals to marry local women, he wove his empire together through bloodlines. It blurred the lines between conqueror and local ruler, creating a system where loyalty transcended cultural differences, or so it seemed. Moreover, Alexander's adoption of Persian customs was revolutionary yet controversial. To many of his Macedonian comrades, donning Persian attire and participating in their elaborate court rituals was an act of betrayal to their heritage. To Alexander, however, it was a masterstroke, a carefully crafted statement of unity. His willingness to assimilate was not weakness. It was strategy, a deliberate effort to present himself as a ruler who belonged to both East and West. However, these political decisions sowed seeds of dissent within his ranks. His trusted men, the companions who had fought by his side since they were boys, began questioning the man they followed. Was Alexander changing the world, or was the world changing him? Perhaps Alexander's boldest and most enduring experiment was the cultural amalgamation known as Hellenization. At its core, this was an attempt to forge cohesion throughout his empire by blending the best of Greek civilization with the diverse customs of the lands he conquered. Cities like Alexandria, rich with architectural marvels and intellectual syncretism, symbolize this grand vision. Every city he founded became more than a stronghold. It became a living embodiment of cultural exchange. The arts flourished, as did philosophy and science. Through the creation of shared language, trade, and education systems, Alexander sought to eliminate the barriers that divided peoples. But was this cultural synthesis sustainable, or was it an illusion? Beneath the surface of unity lay tension. For all his efforts to blend traditions, regionalism and mistrust festered, and his attempts to be all things to all people led to fractures that would prove irreparable. For all his external triumphs, Alexander's internal struggles remain some of the greatest secrets of his empire. His ambition, once his greatest strength, became a force of destruction. As he delved deeper into his conquests, taking his troops further from home and into increasingly foreign lands, the loyalty he cultivated began to waver. Mutinies erupted as exhaustion consumed his soldiers. The infamous refusal of his men to march further east in India showed the limits of even Alexander's charismatic grip. Between the physical toll of unending warfare and the emotional burden of maintaining control, Alexander's paranoia grew. Legends speak of his impulsive rage, including the murder of his trusted general Cletus during a drunken argument. Whether this was the erosion of a man under pressure or the hubris of absolute power, it revealed cracks in his leadership. Despite the chaos within, Alexander's administrative feats cannot be overlooked. He established economic systems capable of supporting such a vast empire, enacting effective taxation policies and creating a vast network of roads and trade routes. Yet much of this infrastructure relied heavily on his personal oversight, raising the ominous question: could his empire truly survive without him? Language played a pivotal role in governing. While Greek dominated in administration, military, and education, local tongues were not suppressed, but rather woven into the fabric of Alexander's rule to maintain stability. This multilingual approach was ahead of its time, highlighting his nuanced understanding of human societies. In the end, however, even Alexander was mortal. His death at the age of 32, under mysterious circumstances, sent shockwaves throughout his empire. Some say fever, others poison. No historical consensus exists, leaving one of history's greatest enigmas unsolved. The moment he died, the glue holding his empire together dissolved. His generals, known as the Diadochi, divided the empire into warring factions, each seeking their own slice of Alexander's legacy. The dream of a unified empire, painstakingly crafted through years of innovation and warfare, crumbled almost overnight. For centuries, Alexander's influence has persisted. He was more than a conqueror. He reshaped the ancient world, leaving an indelible imprint on culture, warfare, and statecraft. But was he a unifier or simply an opportunist? Did his desire for glory cloud his ability to build something that could outlast his mortal reign? Today, scholars still wrestle with the dichotomy of Alexander the Great. To some, he represents the zenith of human ambition, a beacon for what can be achieved with intellect, bravery, and determination. To others, he serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder of the fragility of empires built on the shoulders of one man. Alexander's story is more than history. It is a study of humanity's relentless pursuit of power and the price of greatness. His untold secrets, buried within the ruins of his empire, challenge us to rethink our understanding of leadership, ambition, and legacy. The untold secrets of Alexander the Great's empire reveals not just who Alexander was, but what he means to all of us today. In his life and in his mysteries, Alexander remains a figure whose shadow continues to stretch across the annals of time.